Brown's biggest Dillon Gabriel fears all but confirmed in training camp. Reading time, approximately 6 minutes. When the Cleveland Browns drafted Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round this past spring, they envisioned a high upside rookie of the future who could eventually compete for the starting job. Gabriel arrived in Berea with impressive credentials: 3 years as a collegiate starter, 2 at Oklahoma, 1 at Oregon, an NFL-caliber arm, and poise well beyond his 23 years. Yet, as padded practices have ramped up this week, one inescapable reality has emerged. Dillon Gabriel is simply too small to see over and throw past the towering defensive linemen that populate NFL trenches. Below, we break down the core issues exposed in camp, explore why height remains an outsized factor for quarterbacks, and outline the few paths Gabriel can still take to carve out a meaningful NFL career. 1. The now famous pocket tip in Wednesday's 11-on-11 team period, Gabriel dropped back cleanly against Cleveland's first and second team defensive fronts. He fired a well-placed pass toward tight end Tommy Sweeney over the middle, only for veteran lineman Shelby Harris, 6'5", 325 pounds, to raise his right hand and deflect the throw. Why it matters: every tipped pass is a potential turnover in the NFL. When your release point sits several inches below the top of opposing tackles' pads, even perfectly thrown balls become bounce-backs. Gabriel's shoulders sit roughly 5 inches lower than a prototypical NFL quarterback, and that vertical shortfall places his throws squarely in a defender's strike zone. Now 2. The prototype quarterback and why it persists. Since the merger, NFL front offices have coalesced around a quarterback prototype: height, 6'2" to 6'6", arm strength, ability to throw over or around the line, pocket vision, wide field of view from a higher perch, durability, leverage and biomechanical advantages to withstand hits. Dillon Gabriel checks the box on arm strength. Few rookies made more tight window throws in college, but at 5'11", he falls well below the accepted threshold. Historical exceptions: Drew Brees, 6-0, Doug Flutie, 10, and Kyler Murray, 5'10", all carved out Hall of Fame-worthy careers despite sub-prototypical frames. Yet those are the anomalies, not the rule. Each combined exceptional mobility, lightning-quick release, and offensive systems tailored to their strengths. The key takeaway: NFL teams are unwilling to bet early-round capital that a smaller quarterback will buck 60 years of league wisdom, unless that player demonstrates blinding quickness, elite pre-snap processing, and a willingness to trap and roll or throw on the move. 3. Beyond height, what Gabriel brings to the table. It's not all doom and gloom. Gabriel's strengths are very real. Competitive fire. He rattled off fourth-quarter comebacks at UCF and Oregon. Processing speed. He reads defenses quickly, often diagnosing pressure and finding hot routes. Ball placement. His tape features countless on-target throws into tight windows, something even taller rookies struggle to master. Leadership. Teammates praise his poise in meetings and film sessions. Those qualities earned him the Browns' pick, and they'll keep him in the quarterback room as long as front office and coaching staffs believe he can deliver on Sundays. Number 4, immediate outlook. The Flacco. To start with training camp in full swing, Joe Flacco has emerged as the Week 1 starter. Size advantage. At 6'6", Flacco towers over his linemen, launching passes safely over defenders' hands. Experience 16 NFL seasons, Super Bowl MVP XL Theffy, and a 2023 resurgence in Cleveland. Consistency. Rarely misses games, commands the huddle, and knows the verbiage instantly. Even if Gabriel flashes brilliance in situational scripted periods, Flacco's physical profile offers fewer wildcards, especially in a division featuring the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. 5. Gabriel's path forward, carving out a niche. All is not lost for Gabriel. Below are 3 realistic footholds he can pursue. 1. Quick game specialist, mastering 5 to 7 step drops, heavy use of screens, slants, and quick out throws that neutralize big linemen. Early downs or red zone snaps could showcase his timing. 2. RPO, run-pass option, package, schemed rollout and designed run-pass reads play to his mobility and decision-making. By moving outside the tackle box, Gabriel elevates his release and buys time. 3. Backup quarterback role. Many teams now value backup plus QBs who can step in and not lose games. If Gabriel continues refining mechanics, leading the scout team, and preparing meticulously, he can become a coveted number 2 across the league. None of these paths guarantees a long-term starting job, but they do leverage his accuracy, quick processing leadership while mitigating his height disadvantage. 6. The broader lesson. Why height still matters in the NFL. NFL trenches are an unequal numbers game. Pass rushes arrive at 4 to 5 yards in under 2 seconds. Offensive linemen range from 6'4" to 6'8", with wingspans up to 85 inches. Defenders, leverage allows them to block passing lanes before the ball clears the line. Smaller quarterbacks must be surgical, spotting the tiniest window, releasing in a blink, and trusting that the pocket holds long enough. The margin for error is razor thin. Conclusion. Dillon Gabriel arrived in Cleveland with a resume that screamed NFL starter someday. But in his first week of padded work, the league's unyielding emphasis on size and release point has all but cemented Joe Flacco as the Week 1 starter. Gabriel's bright arm and sharp mind remain assets. No one disputes that. Yet the 5'11" quarterback will spend 2025 proving that exceptional accuracy, pre-snap processing, and strategic package design can overcome 5 inches of vertical disadvantage. Whether he ultimately ascends remains to be seen. But if Gabriel channels his competitive fire, embraces schemed rollout intermediate game roles, and polishes his quick-release mechanics, he can still carve out a long, successful NFL career. Just perhaps not the one Cleveland fans initially envisioned when his name was called on draft night. With his heart in the film room, his arm in the weight room, and his eyes on the goal line, Dillon Gabriel's true testing ground has only just begun. Dillon Gabriel arrived in Cleveland with plenty of college credentials, nearly 19,000 passing yards across UCF, Oklahoma, and Oregon, a reputation for leading comebacks, and the kind of competitive fire scouts crave. But through the Browns' early padded practices, his most glaring limitation has been impossible to ignore. Standing just 5'11", he's struggling to see and throw over NFL-sized defensive fronts. Every NFL quarterback prototype calls for at least 6'2" height, and with good reason. In the pros, defensive tackles routinely get their paws up in the pocket. Gabriel's arm slot and relatively low release point mean even well-timed swings from linemen like Shelby Harris can bat down passes that sailed comfortably over collegiate D-lines. It's not a knock on his technique or accuracy. Gabriel makes the tight window throws. But when your thumb is eye level with a 6'5" rusher, those windows disappear. Contrast that with Joe Flacco, the veteran who checks in at 6'6". His lofty release keeps balls above the swipe zone, buying critical milliseconds against the rush. In practice rotations, every time Flacco steps behind the line, he can count on seeing the play develop. Gabriel, meanwhile, has to maneuver around bodies just to get the pass off. It's easy to scoff at height concerns. Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, and Kyler Murray proved exceptions exist. But in an environment where every inch matters, those successes are anomalies. Gabriel's path to meaningful snaps now hinges on him outthinking rushers rather than outmuscling them. He'll need to master quick-release techniques, perfect rollout passes, and use every pre-snap disguise in Kevin Stefanski's playbook. Age and injury history add to the uphill climb. At 24, Gabriel is older than most incoming quarterbacks and carries a track record of nagging ailments. Left-handedness, too, means some offensive coordinators will have to tweak protections and mesh handoffs differently. All of these factors compound the size issue, making it even harder for Gabriel to simply grow into an NFL starter. In crowded Browns camp, the writing on the wall is already clear. Joe Flacco's size and experience make him the safest Week 1 choice. Kenny Pickett and Shedeur Sanders have youth and potential on their side,